it just was much more typical, I guess, and this is very unique.
Yeah.
So it's very good. But it was, yeah, I actually just have a lager that I'm making right now. When we left to get on the plane to come here, I dropped the temperature of the refrigerator down that I use, and so it's lagering.
So you left the lager home alone?
Yes. Yeah. It makes it easier. It makes it easier to lager it when you're not tempted to drink it.
Yeah. So maybe that's a good trick, you know, to be able to keep the lager lagering. You should go go to Europe and drink our beer.
Yeah.
Excellent. So next on your trip is Germany.
Yep.
You're gonna go to the Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Munich. Or
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's big beer.
Big beer.
Big beer. And then you go to Belgium, and that's small beer.
Small beer. Yeah.
So how do you prefer to enjoy your beer?
It depends on the situation. I mean, I like to, I guess most of the beer that I brew is, you know, you can drink 3 or 4 of them in a sitting without, you know,
getting full.
Yeah, yeah. And so I like to be able to do that, and I like to try to find a way to have a beer that you can drink many of them, but they're still very, very flavorful and very enjoyable to drink. But at the same time, you know, it's fun to do really strong beers that you'll only have, you know, a small glass of, and but you need both, I think.
Our brewmaster here, Benny, has an idea that the beer should have a high hinkability. And that means in Swedish that you're supposed to hinka, you're supposed to drink a lot of the beer. You're supposed to, you know, it's supposed to be easy drinking. And I think that's, you know, combining that with the excellent flavors that he brings forward, I think that's a really good concept.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I think that's a very, you know, there's a lot of, you know, extreme beers that are being brewed in the U.S. right now, but I think that the successful breweries are making very drinkable beers, and you can drink, you know, many of them
without going as far as to, you know, the watery.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have a watery tradition in the States as well. I mean, the big brands are not that hot.
No.
No.
But you know, and they sell a lot.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fun. My father, that's all he drank was, you know, the big
Michelob,
Miller.
Yeah.
And when I turned 21 and started bringing beer back to his house, I was bringing the craft beers and you know, the ales and the pale ales, and at first it was a little difficult for him. You know, he took him a little while to start to appreciate it, and he found a few like Newcastle that were started to have more flavor.
Transition beer.
Yeah, and now you know, he will. I mean, I don't know the last time he's bought any Miller or Budweiser or anything. He just doesn't even think about it anymore.
That's a victory for you.
So yeah.
One down.
Yeah.
And grandmother to go.
Yeah.
So do you think the uptake for fine beer in the States today, or crafty beer, is a reaction to the old kind of, you know, Miller or Michelob watery beer?
Yeah, I think
because there is a strong uptake in the States today. I mean, it's a lot about beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think you know, maybe 10 years ago there weren't many. There weren't very many small craft breweries, or if they were very small. And within the last 10 years, there's been so many new ones coming into the market, and it's really kind of becoming what wine was 10 or 15 or 20 years ago. And people are starting to understand that if they go out for a nice dinner, they can order a beer, and it can complement the food that they're eating.
Yeah.
Whereas, 10, 15, 20 years ago, most people's only thought that a beer could complement a hot dog.
Yeah. That's a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were talking about that, speaking of wine and going the wine path, there has always been a lot of educations around wine and wine sommeliers. But you said something about a new kind of education growing up in the States today, a beer sommelier called Cicerone.
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 Yep. Yeah. And it's something that's just started in the U.S. maybe in the last probably 3 or 4 years, and it's becoming more and more popular. I don't know that there's many restaurants that hire someone specifically as a Cicerone, but it's it's there is education out there to teach people more about beer and how to appreciate it and how to serve it, and to help people to understand that beer can be served warmer and it's good.
Right.
If it's good beer, it can be served at different temperatures, and you get the flavor.
Again,
out of it.
Going the wine path. It's
yes.
Coming back to the wine again.
Yes.
So maybe we should start some Cicerone educations here in Sweden as well, and get the concept going.
Yeah.
So could you bring some advice now to Helsingborg Bryggeri? Is there something we should think about? Something we need to do?
I think you seem like you're on the right track. It's to go have beers that are very drinkable. That was the whole reason that the big watery beers are popular in the U.S. is because you can drink lots of them because it doesn't have much flavor. But to find it, you found a way to make a beer that has a lot of flavor, that's still very drinkable, and it's the right direction. And
so we're going to continue that path, and then you're going to help us to launch in the States in a while, right?
Very much.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the talk, and please enjoy your beer.
Skål.
Skål. Thank you.